Hey y'all, I'm Heather and welcome to my channel, The Debt Free Quilter. It's that time of year again. It's time for our charity project. So once again this year I am making a quilt for the Cancer Sucks bike run that's coming up this year. They actually moved it up on me a month. So this one's going out in September, which is when you will be seeing this video. So all that said, the Cancer Sucks bike run is put on by a local biker club up by my parents, which is not too far from me. But still, I try. The past few years I've donated a quilt. This year's not going to be any different. It's going up for auction, and any proceeds will be given to a cancer patient or cancer survivor in the community. So they get those funds to help with gas for appointments, to help with bills, to help with life. And I'm really on board with that. I'm really behind that cause. And I believe firmly that funds raised for cancer patients, cancer survivors, cancer research should actually be given to the people who are going through it. Because let's face it, cancer is a billion-dollar industry. So every penny that goes to cancer research is lining somebody's pocket, and not anywhere near as much is going into the actual research as they claim. So let's give to the cancer patients, let's give to the survivors, let's give to everybody who's going through treatment, who has to pay for it or has to pay to get there. So that's where I'm at. That's where I believe the funds should be going, and that's where these funds are going. So I'm wholeheartedly supporting this particular charity auction, and I will continue to do so in the years that come. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, I am using a jelly roll that I won over at Treasure Heart Creations, my friend Eric Otis' channel, a couple of years ago. I've got my friction pen and my small marking ruler and some 2.5 by 5 inch rectangles. So let's get started. First things first, we have to unroll that jelly roll, and that rubber band that was on it is not in such good shape, is it? It's been around a while. I'm using my friction pen to mark diagonal lines on my 2.5 by 5.5 inch rectangles, and I'm sewing on those lines or directly to the outside of that line in order to, we'll eventually get to a diamond shape. Finally finished with the sewing. Almost. Now, the reason that I did it this way is because I can pick and choose which strips I'm gonna put where. And now our typical flip corner routine. We check before we cut. And then there was pressing. Alright, it's time to turn those lovely strips and rectangles into a really long strip. That's right, we're making the jelly roll race. As you can see, I mark my pieces as I go. It helps my brain because I can mark it and just put it through under the needle, and it's so much easier and faster. And now it's time to cut off all that excess once again, and then I get to untangle this thing. Who am I kidding? I'm untangling this as I go. Okay, I admit it. This is my least favorite part of making a Jelly Roll Race quilt. The untangling part. Because let's face it, this thing runs twice the length of my house. It's very, very long and very, very twisty, and I don't like it. Okay, finally, all untangled, all trimmed, and onto the pressing. It's just one of those nights. Home stretch. It is time to sew one end to the other end and get this race finished up. Yes, I promise it's still all untangled and piled neatly at my feet. And there was round one of this Jelly Roll race. Let's move on to round two after we finger press the length of this. Here we are with round 2 of this jelly roll race. Let's see what we go through. And there has been a loss in the game. We have lost Bob and Chicken. Let's get a new one and keep going. And as you see, had to break out some bigger scissors in order to keep that a straight end. No harm in it. Let's keep going. Time for round 3. After we make a couple small minor adjustments right there. And after finger pressing again, let's get this round 3. Once again, time to cut that end. Let's do our best to keep it straight. Time for round 4. These rounds sure are getting shorter and shorter in this race. And here we are for round 5. How many more is she gonna go? And we have a winner after 5 rounds. Now it's time to press and explain something that I did not show you how I put it in. I'm pretty sure you all noticed that patch that was there in the corner. How did I put that in there? Well, it took a little seam ripping and a little measuring, but that patch is a 10-inch square. So I took out a 10-inch section at what I want to be the bottom of my quilt, which landed me a 10-inch square bonus block, and therefore I have the 10-inch patch on the bottom corner of my quilt, and it will be prominently displayed for auction because cancer sucks. Now let's finish pressing this and get some borders on it. Now I just decided to put a 6.5-inch solid gray border around the outside of the quilt, just something that says stop. And here we go, time to add the borders. Broke out the pins just to keep one part of this in place so it doesn't shift, and I have an extra hand, if you will, holding it still so I can get it through under the needle. Huh, lucky me. This side I didn't have to use my scissors. I could use my seam ripper because it ended right at the edge of the quilt. Talk about perfect. And here we have the finished top. I apologize for moving the camera. I don't want to make anybody sick. This will be going out to the long armor, and when I get it back, we'll proceed with binding. Alright y'all, let's bind this. The binding fabric is the same as my backing fabric, and here we go. Now I have to join my binding ends. Quick question. Raise your hand if you know what happens when you figure out midway through binding that you didn't cut enough strips. Ooh, fun, fun, fun. I get to use my new foot. That, my friends, is the left compensating foot, and it is an amazing game changer for binding. I love it. I'm so glad I invested in it. If you have a Juki TL series, go get you one. It's worth the money. Alright, you guys, we have come to the end finally of this beautiful yearly charity project. So we can see all these beautiful colors. I know you can't see the bottom right now. I promise I will show you in a minute. And it is bound in this beautiful purple, same as the backing. And I'm overall very pleased with it. I just did a meander over the front with the quilting. My long armer did an excellent job. Thank you. If you ever see this video, I love your work. I don't think I tell you that enough. But we did a black and white or black and gray variegated thread over the whole thing. And all in all, awesome job. I'm super happy with it. And this one's done. Let's see what I can figure out for next year. Next year. But that's next year. Alright, let's break this down. This jelly roll right here. Freebie! I won this over on Eric Otis' channel, Treasure Heart Creations. Go check him out. He's an awesome guy. I hear he's moving right now, so he's kind of up, just kind of all over the place. But you know what? That's okay. You do what you gotta do. Excuse me, y'all. I've been sick this week. Okay. These white diamonds here, yes, I know they're sporadic and weird, and that's fine, were a Moda Junior Jelly Roll, which was like 27 bucks, 26 bucks. And I used a couple of strips in of it just to put in these white diamonds. There, I promise I can talk. Basically, it was, the strip breaks down to $1.30 per strip. So yeah, not very much. The backing, beautiful, beautiful purple backing, was about $35. I got it at a quilt show. Not this year. Last year. Yeah, last year I'm pretty sure. And then the quilting in and of itself was about $100. And down here on every one of my charity quilts, because I donate to the same place, this patch was embroidered by my long armer for free. She donated it to me because there was a little bit of mess up on one of the letters, which I don't care, it's fine. But we're going to include that in the cost of the quilting, so that was about $100. So I'm not doing too badly. Like 135, 55, 6, like $165, rounded out, for the entire quilt. I'm super pleased. This came out really great. Now, you may not be as lucky as me to get a jelly roll for free. It happens. Giveaways are out there. They happen. But not everybody's going to win one. But if you do, work up something like this, a simple jelly roll race. Give it to charity. Donate it. Do what you care. care to do with it. But I'm super happy with this. I hope y'all enjoyed the ride. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.